Hey guys, welcome to Murray Crabb Fishing and welcome to our backyard. Now this here is the view we get all the time. At the moment it's not crash hot because it's wet and overcast and been raining, hence the water on me. But we have a fantastic view of the King Valley here in Moorview, and that's obviously we live in Moorview in Victoria, and we get some fantastic sunsets. That aside, I'm doing this video real quickly to just run over a couple of lures that I'm going to be using come cod opening, which is in 6 days, this Friday the 1st of December. I want to encourage you guys not to jump the gun. Let the fish have their rest for the next few more days, and then come December 1st, go for it. Use this time to get your lures ready and your gear ready and tidy it all up. I'm going to redo a video I do have on YouTube at the moment about cod handling and the best way to look after your cod and ensure them to swim away safely. I will put a link to that on here once I've done that video, and hopefully you guys watch that and it will give you some tips. Anyway, into lures. We're going to start with surface because that's what everyone loves. It's the in thing. It has been for a couple of years now, and it's because it's fantastic. You can't beat a surface buff. Now, I do want to say this review slash chat about lures, this is our opinion here. These are the lures we use and we love these lures, but this isn't a peer reviewed go over. We're not saying these are the absolute best on the market. We believe some of these lures are the best on the market. There's a big difference, so don't jump up and down and have people saying, oh, he said they're the best and they're not. That's not how it is. So anyway, mind the wind, guys. Let's get into it. Surface lures. If you haven't guessed already, thirsty. Right, thirsty lures, guys. They're our favourite, and I've got a couple in here. These are getting on. My first ever surface thirsty surface lure was a 150 triple threat, and it's on my rod at the moment. So in here I've got a couple. Tegan actually has another collection, and I've actually got more than this, obviously, but here's a few to show you. The rat tail, right? Wake bait. Good action, good clunk, nice trebles that hang low. Right? Aluminium bib, so it's adjustable. They tend not to break like plastic bibs. You can just give them a tweak. A nice big soft plastic tail, hence the rat tail. These sit low. They're not a surface lure. They're not a surface paddler. They're a clunk. They're not a clunk rat. They're a wake bait. So they sit almost with the surface of the water to the top of the lure, and they make a fairly big wake, and you've got a big presence on the surface, and that lure will attract fish that long. Cod are hungry fish. They will attack almost anything. So I've got two of these. The black, which was my original. I think I had that in there. And this nice, lovely looking green fella that I've only thrown a couple of times. CJ makes a fantastic lure. And when you're supporting Thirsty, guys, he's a local. Well, local, he's from the northeast, Yarrawonga. And he hand carves these in his shed, so he's supporting a local great Australian bloke. So get amongst and buy some of these. This little fat fella here, the presence it has on the surface with this big bib is unbelievable. I can't believe how much noise this thing makes. Double trebles hanging down at the side, and then one that hangs down at the back. The hookup rate on that is good. That is a fantastic lure, and I'm probably going to get a few more of them. Actually, speaking of more, I've just messaged CJ the last couple of days, and I'll have a few more thirsty lures in the tackle box. This fella here, and you can see he's had a lot of work. I've used him a lot. This is a clunk rat, and it is fantastic. Another wake bait, but I called the clunk rat because it absolutely clunks. Being the 2-piece and the bigger piece, it doesn't have the same presence as the rat tail, but the clunk it makes is absolutely insane. And I've had cod that probably don't even seem to be as big as that try and take this lure. It just really seems to get them to have a crack. So keep an eye out for them, guys. CJ's flat out all the time, and with good reason. His lures are great, but if you see them available, grab some. They are fantastic and you won't regret it. I'll be running these. Probably not the first thing I tie on because I'll be fishing earlier in the day, but it'll be the first surface lure I try. It'll be my 150 triple by CJ. It's on my rod now, ready to go. So that's surface, guys. The first thing I tie on will be a spinnerbait. Now I run 2 types of spinnerbaits. This container is full of old spinnerbaits. These are Murray River spinnerbaits, most of them, not all of them, but the majority of these spinnerbaits are Murray River spinnerbaits by Galvo from Shepparton. So again, supporting another local. They look old, and that's because they've been given a hiding. Alright, they have been flogged, and with good reason. They perform. Right, I've caught some great fish. Actually got some YouTube footage of catching fish on these online. The other ones I run are a bit different. Right, so Galvos, without saying in a bad way, they're a simpler lure, and they're fantastic. I find when the fish are a little bit quieter, Obsession spinnerbaits seem to work a bit better, and I think the reason is they've got a far bigger presence. You know, they are a slow sinking spinnerbait. They're flashy, they're colourful, and they have a really solid thud. Right? They're for a different time. Let's say I run Murray River spinnerbait very successfully. I run Obsession spinnerbaits very successfully. Now, Obsession made by Raymond. He's also a local from the border, Albury-Wodonga area. So again, if you're buying these, you're supporting a local handmade lure maker, and you know, you can't ask for more than that to get a quality product and support a local person. So again, these are Obsession's chatterbaits. They've got a fairly good sink rate and a really good action and a really good presence. So try them. He makes a lot of smaller ones as well for yellowbelly and redfin and all sorts of things, but we're not worried about it at the moment. We're focused on the cod. So either of those guys, you can't go wrong, and you're supporting the local, so check them fellas out. Over here I've got a mixed batch of all sorts of goodies. You can't buy this. I made this for fun. So that's a homemade bibless lure, which I've only thrown a few times because I'm not overly confident in it. But anyway, that's in there, and I'll adjust that one day. That's more for yellows, but that's a little JD Eddie's lure, and I've got a bigger one of them to show you in a minute. They're a good lure. The old stumpy, you can't go past the stump jumper. You just got to have one. I think if you don't have one, you know, there's a lot of good lures out there, but they're a good fallback lure and they're cheap, and they hold up to the fish. So have a stumpy with you, they're good. Now, I've talked about these before, and I'm very disappointed that I only have this one left. So this is a Sumo by One Well. I've done a review on the Sumo, and if I had a bigger one, that's what I'd be throwing straight up. That's a fantastic lure, but this isn't a small size. A cod will take that, but I want to be throwing a bigger lure around when I'm chasing cod, so that's more for yellows. They're a fantastic lure. You get onto them. I've got some footage from Boxing Day last year and a bit of a review and a walk up some skinny water where I was throwing one size up from this, and I've had so much success on the Sumo. I have to get out and get a few more, but they are a great lure. So give them a whirl, guys. There's just a mix of other stuff in here that that I do throw around, but I can't go over everything. This one here has some has some older lures in it. There you go. That is the Super Bug from JD Eddie. Now that is a monster lure with a monster bib. Alright, that bib gives this lure all the action in the world, and it makes that much noise that it can't be resisted. Alright, the colours, it's flashy, it's got a good action, and Russell gets all these, assembles them, paints them. Another good Aussie bloke making a living off fishing. They're living the dream, these guys, aren't they? These lures, I am a caster, and although they do get heavy after a while, a lot of guys love them for trawling, they're still worth a cast about, right? So you can't go past that. Have one of them in your tackle box, just one. That's that's all you need. Also in here I have a non-Australian made, locally made. It's the Gantia by Jackal. Now that thing is a true swim bait. It sits less than a foot below the surface, and it swims exactly like a fish. From a few meters away, even a person will be like, oh look, a fish, and then, oh no, it's a lure. That thing invites strikes left, right and centre. Now a lot of guys reckon if you miss up on the surface, tie this on and throw it out. I can't confirm that because it's not something I've tried, but I have fished with this, and the amount of attention these lures get is insane. They're expensive, but absolutely worth it. Just don't lose it. So that's the Gantia, and if that doesn't look like a fish, I don't know what else does. So hopefully I'll have some footage of these to show you, but if not, you'll have to take my word for it. Last but not least is another Shep bloke. Now he doesn't hand make his lures, but he designs them all from scratch, and he doesn't hand make them because he makes too many lures. He couldn't sit in his shed and make the amount of lures he makes. He's got a massive range, from the smallest lures for bass and bream and trout up to cod lures, barra lures and whatnot. But this particular lure I have a lot of. The ones I'm going to show you are still boxed, and they're Tegans. Now a lot of people say these lures are gimmick, and I don't think that's true. Personally, I think the lures are up to the challenge, and they have a good action, and they have an LED. And the LED, and I don't throw these as my number one choice, alright? But I have these with me all the time, because in days like today when it's overcast in murky and dirty water, that light, which activates when it hits the water, can be the difference between a fish seeing / having a go at your lure and not. And I have caught a lot of fish on that, the Dino 90. So the Lister lures, James from Shepparton owns and has built the business through a lot of hard work, and they're worth giving a run, guys. And the patterns on them are fantastic. Let's go this way. There's that many different types there. You just can't go wrong, and really, I think they're a good lure. A lot of people are, oh nah, they're crap, but give it a try. Just buy one, put it in your tackle box, give it a throw. They're great. So guys, they're my choices for the start of cod season. I've got more lures than that, but these are my go-to lures. Hopefully you can give them a run and they work well for you. I totally recommend all the lures I've mentioned. I haven't mentioned them for any perks or kickbacks. I've mentioned them because I believe in those lures, so give them a run, see how you go. Hopefully you guys do well this season. I want to do well this season. Let's see if I've got time to get out, and please look up the cod handling video, guys. It's going to have the information in there. I'll have a link in this video to make sure that we're looking after our fisheries for the future. So thanks for watching, guys.